So very fine guys. There we begin. Good evening all. I'm Alok and I see a few familiar names. So I think I have come across you people in some session already. Yes. Okay. Gagandeep, it looks like I have come across you also at some point of time. Is it so? Somebody has name logged in by name Triple A. Please correct your name. Please correct it to your full name. Check your device name. जहाँ पर attendee list आता है, double click there on your name. Okay, very fine. Thank you. Gagandeep, you here? चलो छोड़ो क्या रखा है इन लोगों ने. Well, we were here for. I'm told you are here for resume building session, and as it happens, again there is legendary attendance. Your batch contains some 14, 15 people. I see only 6 have joined, so nothing unusual for me. It happens every now and then when it comes to resume building. You people think it is one useless session, and let's go for a toss. And you know पता कब चलता है? पता कब चलती है इसकी वैल्यू? जब बाहर निकल जाते हो. हाँ, बाहर खड़े होते हो एमआरटी से सर्टिफिकेट लेके जॉब हंट के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं naukri.com, linkedin.com. ले गगनदीप को मैंने 2-4 बार क्या पूछा, वो तो बुरा ही मान के चला गया छोड़ के. चलो ठीक है. Guys, why we are talking about resume building? Coming to business now. What is your idea of resume building? What is the point when it becomes important? Maybe come in the chat box. For attracting HRs? Well, that's one. You know, it is surprising when resumes go wrong and how often they go wrong. Resumes go wrong because you create resume as if you are creating resume. Resume banana, resume, it is not a very rocket science. The key is the key is create a resume for the audience, not for yourself, and that's what makes all the difference. You create resume and you try to put exactly जो निष्कर्ष ने डाला है. You try to do that, and well, it goes for a toss. Then and there. I show you something. Just, just for the sake of, just for the sake. I'm showing you a few postings of LinkedIn. There are few postings on LinkedIn for data scientist roles. Well, the role doesn't matter for now. You don't have to apply here. I'm just showing you something. Job role was posted 2 weeks ago, and there are 45 applicants already. It is a company named Bold. Well, मतलब नाम के लिए bold है. It is not that renowned name. PayPal. Now that's a renowned name. 1 week ago, 71 applicants. Novartis. 1 week ago, 175 applicants. I'm just showing you what got on the top of my list on LinkedIn. I just want to give you an idea. Do you think somebody needs to read these 175 applications? किसको जाते हैं ये application? When you apply, there is a poor HR sitting over there. For goddamn sake, he or she has done her MBA in HR. Show some respect. 175 applications, and the poor thing, the HR, they are matching profiles for keywords. That's where it all begins. Know your audience first, whom you are applying to. I'll come to resume building just a little bit later. I want you to know the cycle of recruitment, and then maybe it will help you somewhere while applying. What do you think? How does recruitment happen? There is someone who is the manager. I'll keep using these terms time and again, so let's get the thing right. Manager is someone, a person who has the budget and who has the requirement of the resource. For example, if I am leading the team of data scientists and I need a data analyst in my team, somebody maybe say a W developer or maybe say a Python developer, I would raise that requirement. Then it goes to, where does it go to? What do you think it goes to? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wrong. It goes to my acquaintances. Think from the perspective, be in their shoes for a minute. Think about it. If I am the hiring manager, I am hiring for a team member. What I will do the first thing? यार लास्ट कंपनी में एक लड़की थी जो रिपोर्ट करती थी. शी वॉज गुड. बिहेवियरल इशू नहीं था. सैलरी भी वहां पर कम था. मेरे बजट में आ जाएगी. एंड आई एम डन. थिंक अबाउट इट. यस और नो. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? नो रॉकेट साइंस. ह्यूमन नेचर. नो रॉकेट साइंस. जस्ट यू एंड मी. हम कैसा सोचते हैं? If I am unable to get it from my acquaintances, then what happens? Then what happens? Do you think it goes to HR? I tried my circle, I tried my acquaintances, and I did not get a proper response. Whom does it go to? नो रॉकेट साइंस हैपनिंग। अगेन सिंपल। जिसको मैंने पूछा था वो नहीं आया या आई, तो तुम बता दो। कोई है जानकारी में अच्छा रिसोर्स? बिकॉज आई ट्रस्ट यू समवेयर। A known devil is any day better than an unknown devil. Even if that doesn't work, what do you think then happens? What do you think happens then? Then somebody dropped it right. Heard of this? IJP. It is getting popular and popular in various companies. It's internal job postings. So that if somebody is not happy in their role, they can switch within the company. It happens. You people have the hang of this. And when this none of this helped me to get my resource, then I leave it to HRs. I tell them that I have this requirement and I have no other channel to go to. And then it goes to HRs, and then HRs post it to several platforms: LinkedIn.com, Monster.com, Naukri.com, company websites, IIM jobs, this and that, everywhere. And that's where, what do we say? That's where the shit hits the fan. Because now it is public. Now everybody knows it. अब सबको मालूम है. You will see the postings of, like I have shown you some postings. If it is from a renowned company like TCS or maybe Infosys or maybe some kind of brand name, you will see there may be hundreds and there may be thousands of applications reaching for two openings, four openings, five openings. There are thousands and thousands of applications. So, well, first things first, get your resume right to get it filtered from that plethora of resumes. So I'll discuss some do's and don'ts now with the help of a template. But first things first, it is not about the template. It is not about the layout. It is about the information and uh, how professionally you have put it together. How do you begin your resume? What is the title of your resume? You will wonder how many times I have seen the title of a resume or curriculum vitae. Of course, of course, it is resume. You don't need to title it in bold, italic, and bold everything. I'm showing you a simple template. It does not mean you have to you have to copy everything like that. It is about the content. Your resume should start be titled by your complete name, your formal name. Well, then it can contain the contact number. Don't put your entire address here, just city and maybe the state. Of course, you belong to India. That's taken. Unless and until you are applying to some overseas location. And finally, the email. And be done with this. ठीक है. So at least get the title right. Another key pointer here is we will try to limit the resume. You know, genuinely think of this as a precious space. Think of it जैसे पैसे लग रहे हो यहाँ पे लिखने पे. I'm sure you will be able to conclude your resume in one page. I have a 12 years of career and I am postgraduate education wise, and my resume falls in one page. So I believe yours can be too. Where are these standards coming from? Here जो अभी डिस्कस किया है हमने. HRs, they are not technical people. Whatever you want to brag about, that I have done this project and that project and these were the jargons and the PMP and this and that, then they don't know. They simply don't know. उनके पास एक जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन है जो यहाँ से आया है, उसको कीवर्ड्स मैच करने हैं, वो मैच हो जाने चाहिए. दैट्स इट. So when you start building a resume, pay attention to the job description properly, match the keywords yourself, and plug them in your resume here and there, so that when the HR matches them, they can match it easily without going through 4 pages of resume. So within a single page, you have enabled them to match the keyword. Maybe they will be enticed by this. Maybe they will shortlist the resume from those hundreds of resume which they have to go through. For experienced, ही बता रहा हूँ रजत. For how much experience do you think 2 pages is okay? I'm saying I'm 12 years experienced in roles sales, frontline sales, channel sales, dealership management, team leading, and consultancy, and finally training now. And my resume falls in one page. You got the gist? Coming to the sections, a section which I have not put here on purpose. Oh, you want to see my resume? I have not applied for a long period of time. I don't know if I have my resume and ready. Okay, here it is. Somehow I got this. Here it is. Have a look if you if you really want, if you really are that interested. Although I will give you my LinkedIn profile also. It is one page, by the way. Okay, maybe I'll have to just tweak it a bit, but it will fall in one page. The information is one page, all in all. Fair, happy, content, Disha. Get the idea right. It is not about your resume or my resume. You have to do some things right. If you know what to do, you will do it right every time. Anybody here who knows swimming? Those who know swimming, they know swimming. Those who don't, well, they don't. It is not about copying something from some. Anyway, I will walk you through the sections. What is usually the first section of resume, which is a big no-no, basically. The first section, which many resumes I have gone through and I have seen, the first section is career objective. And I mean, really, career objective. On top of that, the career objective, whatever you put in that career objective, that is copy paste. It is, evident in the first two lines that your resume is going to be the copy paste resume. Maybe I will not look at it at all. Even if I look at it, I will just skim through with no interest. Already my subconscious mind has hit me that it is a copy paste resume. Career objective. I want to work in an organization which gives me chance to fulfill this, that, grow with and within the organization, provide me new challenges every day. And what a nonsense. What level of nonsense it contains. Even if it is true, think from the perspective of HR or think about the perspective of the hiring manager. Are they interested in your career objective? Your career objective be maybe, well, you want to live in a two-crore bungalow. Maybe you want to earn few lakhs per month. Maybe you want to do some charity. Whatever your career objective is, they are not interested. They are interested in their objective. Yes or no? Can't you think being in their shoes? So let's not mention our career objective. Let's mention their career objective. What is their objective of this entire exercise? To hire someone who is suitable for their role. So let's not provide career objective. Let's provide something. I call it profile summary. You may call it career summary. You may call it, well, whatever you want to call it. It can be just two bullets or three bullets max. And they should mention what are you bringing to the table. For example, since you have come to my resume, so well, it is a pretty honest resume. I am saying 11 plus experience in various roles. Data science training. What are the roles? Data science training, customer centric analytics, team leading, and sales. That's what I have been doing entire my professional life. All in one line. Well, if I am applying for analytics roles, this is something key. So I have put that in bold. My second point is last 7 years in customer centric analytics and making data driven business decisions. Since it comes to decision making, so well, industry knows it. When it is decision making, I am talking about. So that means it is an experience of consultancy roles. Two bullets, game over. मैंने बता दिया उनको मेरा रिज्यूमे आगे पढ़ना है कि नहीं पढ़ना है तुम्हें. Think about it. If this is a role for training, analytics training, or this is a role for consultancy, बात बन जाएगी इससे. If this is a role for team leading, हो जाएगा काम. Bring proper things to table. If you suit experience-wise in this job role, mention it here that your experience is relevant. Throw some keywords here which match to the job description. So not your objective, their objective. Second in line, well, it will, there is a trick here. Where was that? Here it was. Next can come academics or next can come career timeline. Now it depends whether you are going chronologically or you are going reverse chronologically. The fashion currently is reverse chronological order because your latest stature is the most relevant one. So that is obvious. But if you are good in academics, and more importantly, if you are currently not employed, maybe you have done some job in the past, but currently you are not employed, then bring academics before career timeline. If you are still currently you are in job, then you can come with career timeline and then you can go to academics later. Anybody here who is not in job currently? So maybe just it will give me an idea. Anybody who is not in job currently here? Maybe I can. Okay, Pratik, Disha. So this can work in your favor. If you are currently not in job, previously you were in job, try academics first. So even if you are in job currently, then academics may come later. What to put in academics is means. I didn't get it, Disha. You mean to ask why I am saying to do this? Okay, I see. You may or may not like it, but gaps are, very ill taken by HRs. So for now, you can stick to this plan, and I'll talk about how to get past that. वो भी बात करेंगे. When it comes to academics, हाँ, यहाँ भी जो बस क्या बताऊँ जो गंद मचाते हो ना आप लोग शुरू हो जाओगे छठी से सिक्स में इतने थे एट्थ में इतने थे टेंथ में इतने ट्वेल्थ में अरे क्या करना है उसको if you are graduate put it here if there is post graduation there and be done with that खत्म ठीक है so not going to 10th and 12th that's not helping just because you got 90% marks then and you want to put it right here don't do it it is only going to harm if not worse okay so put your graduation your post graduation when and when on top of that mention this in your academic and certifications like that why I am telling you this is not because I am very pro Emartica. I'm telling you this is because this is something which brings a certain reputation to your resume. There may be nitty-gritty companies who don't know about Emartica, but there are several well-known companies who have a very, who have in mind a very certain reputation of Emartica, and this brings value to it. That's what, all in all, we are trying to do: bring value to your resume. Another thing, while mentioning your academics, which you should do it right. Well, this is a tricky part. I don't want to anybody. Okay, well, that is not even required. Uh, if you have good marks, then put them. If you don't have very good marks, don't put them. For example, this looks nice. At the same time, this doesn't. What is that supposed to mean, Disha? I did not get it. And more importantly, please save it for your later time, not here. Well, so far so good. So uh, keep this also handy. If your percentages are you don't consider it very much worthy of being mentioned, then don't mention. No problem at all. At the very best, what will happen? They will ask you to mention that. Maybe then you can mention it. Then be honest. If they specifically ask, if you get an interviewer like me, well, he or she will is not going to be interested in that. You will get just zoom past. Coming to career timeline. In career timeline, well, start off with your latest company. If you are currently in role, well, from which date and till present. So that's obvious. If you are not currently in job, even then you can start off with the latest company and your latest role. So which company you were working, the location, from to, and maybe your designation, what you were there. So in the capacity of uh, maybe a team lead or whatever your designation was there, that can be mentioned. Then it goes somewhere like this. You mention some 3, 4 tasks of your latest company, one task lesser for the company before. So if you are mentioning 3 tasks in the first, save space here, save rather space here, and don't mention more than 5 companies if you have already worked for. डरना मत इस बात से कि यहाँ ऊपर तो मैंने एक्सपीरियंस लिखा है 8 साल, यहाँ मेरा कंपनी का टोटल हो रहा है 5 साल. Don't worry about it. However, 5 companies are more than enough, but don't go beyond that. I don't think anybody who has worked, anybody here who has worked for 5 companies or more than that. I don't think so. ऐसा कोई होना नहीं चाहिए. It rarely happens. Even I am not so. But you guys are, millennial generation. You people, हो सकता है कोई ना कोई तुम्हें निकल जाए ऐसा. Well, none such. Fair enough. Now, within these tasks performed, what do you put there in tasks performed? What will you mention here? So another key point. You may say that, sir, मैं तो 10 तरह के काम कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ इस कंपनी में. So I should mention all of them. No, don't mention all of them. It is not for that. It is not for your day-to-day routine tasks. What has to be here is, remember this syntax. ये ध्यान कर लेना कहीं पर. Maybe take a screenshot when I try it. मतलब लैंग्वेज लिखने की ये नहीं होनी चाहिए. Not exactly like this. But when you put these bullets, think about it. Are these bullet points explaining this in a way? Is this happening? Language कुछ भी लिखना, but is your language conveying this kind of thing? For example, for example, just अपने CV से दिखा दे रहा हूँ. I don't know if it is visible. Just to show you something. What did I achieve? I achieved that I predicted customer churn. By how much? By what extent? 78% accuracy. And how? By analyzing humongous amount of 12,000 customers. Happening? Improved market share of my employer. To what extent? By 20% from scratch in a new territory. And how did I do that? By data-driven strategy. You see, you don't have to mention कि मैंने logistic regression किया था और ये देखा था और वो देखा था तो no stories, no sob stories. कहानी नहीं चाहिए. Make sense? So put it in your own language. I don't know your job rules. I don't know your achievements, but I'm very confident that everybody has something to say. So कथाएं नहीं लिख रही हैं. Put them in bullets and make sure that it has this information at least. No unnecessary words. Some big no-no words. अगर बताऊं तुम्हें, some big no-no words. Managing. These are the verbs which harm the most. I was managing documents. I was managing teams. I was managing this. What is managing? Collaborating. हम्म. ठीक है. These are the verbs जो क्या दिखाती हैं? Fake work. You are feigning to be working. Actually, you are not working. ठीक है. So not going there. Not going into these kind of unnecessary bullets. Crunch. Crisp. Short and sweet. Another thing, well, that is also from, in a way, you can say from my experience. Okay, चलो मैं बता ही देता हूँ. उसमें कुछ ऐसी बात नहीं है रिकॉर्ड करने वाली. My first company was L&T. Heard of it? नाम सुना है? हाँ जी. L&T. L&T Construction, L&T Cement. It used to be L&T Cement. Now it is not. L&T Infotech, L&T Finance, L&T Shipbuilding, this and that and whatnot. My second company was, नाम सुना है? Finally, Rajat, you seem to be very familiar with this domain. What about others? See where I want to bring you here. Suppose you have worked for, say, Axis Bank. Very good. Everybody knows about Axis Bank. Suppose you have worked for Yes Bank. Well, everybody knows about Yes Bank. Suppose you have worked for a company called Data Mitra. तुमने नाम सुना है? तुमने कहाँ से सुना होगा? अभी अभी तो बनाया मैंने. But it may be a real life scenario. When you are working for these kind of employers, they bring certain reputation to your resume. So if you are honoring, if you are respecting your employer, it is something doing good to you in return. Access, very well known, everybody knows. Yes Bank, everybody knows. Now this employer is someone जिसके बारे में most probably मेरे को पता है कि HR को या मेरे employer को नहीं पता होगा. So mention a line here introducing your this kind of employer. If you have such employer on your list, mention a line, and I'm not saying to lie about it. Don't lie about anything. So that is something uh, strongly discouraged. I'm not a fan of this. But I'm saying add a line and add a genuine line which shows that you respect this employer. And this employer has metal. For example, if I am to say that, okay, Data Mitra is a company, Data Mitra has delivered, say, 48 projects. I'm just giving you an example. What does it say? What does this line say? This line says something good about Data Mitra. Yes or no? Suddenly it gives an impression of high repute to whosoever is reading your resume. And when they have a good reputation of Data Mitra, in turn they have good reputation of you, that you have worked in a good organization. So this is something you can do if you have worked in a not so well-known firm. Still you can work in a well-known firm. Remember not to lie. Don't lie. Research about your company. I'm sure they will certainly have to say something good about themselves. This brings us to the next section, that is key projects, which is again something important in your particular case. Since you are into data science and you are applying for these kind of roles, mention key projects here. Now you are fresher in this domain, so that is understood that you don't have actual projects which you have delivered. But anyway, if not key projects, you can have at least that. एकेडमिक प्रोजेक्ट तो आप लोगों ने किए हैं ड्यूरिंग योर डीएसपी प्रोग्राम, so at least those you can mention here. Now, when I say mention them here, it does not mean just mention for them for the sake of mentioning them. This is the key point, guys. Because अभी तक मैंने जो कुछ भी बताया है, this is for you to get past them, the HRs. काम अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है. There is still somebody out there. The actual hiring manager. Actually जो person hire कर रहा है या कर रही है आपको, they are still there. So in this section, you should mention 2-3 projects at least. At the very minimum, you should mention 2-3 projects about which you are very comfortable talking. Because question होगा, ये मान के चलो मतलब ये रुमाल में गांठ लगा लो. यहाँ पर जो तुमने दिया है वो देना जरूरी है, लेकिन जो दिया है उस पर क्वेश्चन भी होगा. तो बी वेरी थॉरो इन विच प्रोजेक्ट यू मेंशन है. जो भी प्रोजेक्ट आपने यहाँ मेंशन किया है, प्रिपेयर इट वेल. यू शुड नो इनसाइड आउट क्या बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम था, कैसे कोडिंग किया. नाउ यहाँ वहां पे ये नहीं बताना है कि लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन कैसे किया था या क्या किया था, कि ये प्रोजेक्ट तो लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन का था. दे आर नॉट कंसर्न. दे आर कंसर्न कि तुमने क्या समझा, कैसा अप्रोच किया, एंड फाइनली डिलीवर किया तो रिजल्ट कैसा था. हाउ मेनी प्रोजेक्ट, रजत, 2 or 3 that will suffice. It is not important that you mention here, you don't have to mention 10 projects, all of them which you have done. Whatever, but the one you mention, you should be very thorough about it. That is very much important. मान के चलिए आधा घंटा बात होने वाली है इस पे. इफ यू प्रोवाइड सब्सटेंस, अगर वो इससे 5-10 मिनट में आगे चला जाता है, इसका मतलब रिजेक्ट हो गया, खत्म हो गई, खत्म हो गया इंटरव्यू. What do you mention here is, how would you mention these things here? Mention the project, like say you are doing something about loan default or maybe credit fraud, something that kind of thing, just one line. Then give the background of the problem. One liner would be the best. 1 line or 2 lines, that would be the best to give the background. That a credit lending firm providing data of this many customers and for the problem of loan default, this and that. And in the third bullet, it should be result. Result in the sense, result should have 3 parts. First of all, the tool used. क्योंकि मेंशन करते हो ना आप, जैसे दिशा कर रही थी अभी, R आता है, Python आता है, SAS आता है, ये आता है. So one is you have given the background of the problem. What was the problem? What was the data? Then comes what was the result? तुमने क्या टूल यूज किया, क्या टूल यूज किया. हाँ जी, कौन सा टूल लिखोगे यहाँ पे, कौन सा टूल लिखोगे, कौन सा आता है सबसे अच्छा आप लोगों को. एवरीबॉडी, अरे बोलो यार, 2-4 तो लोग ही हो सारे. R, Python, and finally the intelligent thing to do. हाँ जी, एग्जैक्टली। नॉट आर, नॉट पाइथन। यू विल मेंशन द टूल जो जेडी में लिखा हुआ है। जेडी में अगर दो लिखे हुए हैं तो एक प्रोजेक्ट आर से, दूसरा पाइथन से। गेटिंग द आइडिया? गिव देम एक्सक्यूजेस टू कॉल यू फॉर एन इंटरव्यू। मौका दो उनको देखने का जो वो देखना चाहते हैं। Second comes is approaches. Approach, here you can briefly mention how you approach the dataset. Well, now here you can mention what are the models you tried. Maybe you tried support vector machine, or maybe you tried random forest, or whatever. So you tried this and that, and finally the accuracy delivered. So numbers, this is paramount. This is imperative that you put a number to as many things as possible. When you put a number, suddenly it becomes tangible. Suddenly it looks like you are not bragging. It suddenly looks like that you are substantiating whatever you have done. You have proof. You can show something. So suddenly it takes you from a chat box to someone very professional. So maybe you achieved 70%, 80%, 90%, whatever you achieved. Mention that. But the key is again, be very thorough. अगर आपको ये प्रॉपरली नहीं पता होगा, बिकॉज यहाँ पर तो आप 4 लाइन लिख के छूट जाओगे। जब इंटरव्यू होगा, द इंटरव्यूअर विल इज गोइंग टू गो इन डिटेल, इन माइन्यूट डिटेल्स। कैसा था वो डेटा, क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आए थे, मीटिंग रिकॉर्ड्स कितने थे, कितने रोज थे, कितने कॉलम्स थे, क्या किया। सो स्टेप फॉरवर्ड विद योर बेस्ट फुट फॉरवर्ड। Then there may come things where you can brag about a little bit. Now you can really brag about, not unnecessary brag about, but a little bit. The key skills section. You can mention the tools under your belt, which may or may not be in the JD. JD का इंतजाम वो तो ऊपर कर दिया तुमने। ये किसी भी टूल से किए थे, यहाँ पर वही लिखोगे जो JD में लिखा है। Now you can mention other tools. Okay, R, Python, very good. Now I know SAS and Tableau as well. Very fine. You may mention algorithms which you are handy with. Again, something pointer here. Again, the red mark here. That is, if you mention algorithms here, if you put here, say for example, decision tree, mind you, they will ask about decision tree. If you put time series here and you are not very comfortable about discussing time series, समझ गए, गड्ढा खोद लिया अपने लिए तुमने, क्योंकि यहाँ टाइम सीरीज लिखा है तुमने खुद ही। अब क्वेश्चन होगा उस पर। So be mindful of this. When you mention it, be ready to answer the question. Within key skills, there comes something which many people do, and I don't know why do they do it. The people start mentioning behavioral skills here. Behavioral skills like industrious laborious, punctual, hard worker, smart worker, this and that. कर रखा है क्या किसी ने अपने रिज्यूमे में जैसा? हाँ, कर भी रखा होगा तो बताओगे थोड़ी? चलो मत बताओ, कोई बात नहीं। मैं फिर भी बता देता हूँ फिर भी बता देता हूँ। फिर भी बता देता हूँ। See, I am not very anti to this, but it should not look like you are just blurting around things. It should not happen. If you are mentioning uh, team worker, smart worker, hard worker, these are just blubbers, all gibberish. Also, things may shoot you in the foot by these things. I would mention something, and if I am right, Kanishka, I think I saw that on your resume. Tell me if I am wrong. And well, don't be shy. You know मैं ऐसा ही हूँ. हाँ ठीक है, गुस्सा तो नहीं हो जाएगी मेरे से? नाम ले दिया मेरा. आई थिंक कनिष्का तुम्हारे उसमें था टीम हैंडलिंग या टीम लीडिंग या कुछ तो ऐसा लिख रखा था इसमें. वेल आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट दिस. अगर इस तरह का आप स्किल मेंशन कर रहे हो, दिस इज गुड टू सी.
सब वो फर्स्ट टाइम बना था मैंने रिज्यूमे तब लिखा हुआ था,
हाँ, मैं सोच रहा
उसके
था
बाद
कि
नहीं लिखा।
हाँ मैं सोच रहा था कि व्हेन यू विल रिब्यूक. आई वाज वेटिंग फॉर यू टू रिब्यूक.
और मुझे सच में याद भी नहीं था, आपने याद दिलाया है। क्योंकि उसके बाद मैं दूसरी रिज्यूमे बना चुकी थी।
अच्छा ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. डोंट फील बैड अबाउट इट. यू नो दीज आर द इंस्टेंसेस, दीज आर द थिंग्स व्हिच अदर्स शुड नो. You know it now. Very good.
ओके सर।
Excellent.
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
ठीक है. चलो बंद करो यार, इस टॉपिक की बात नहीं करते, लड़ाई होगी तुम्हारे चक्कर में. चलो ठीक है, वादी कर ली तो पूरी कर लेते हैं. What I wanted to say is, if say if I am saying team handling, अगर ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ, look at my career timeline. अगर मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ, okay, I was once senior engineer, then I was sales manager, I had a team of 3 people, then I was a team lead. मेरे पास सेल्स इंजीनियर भी थे और सर्विस इंजीनियर्स भी थे. I was team lead. Then I was project consultant. An entire team of 7, 8 data analysts, and then there were developers, and then there were data engineers. They were all reporting to me. All in all, 20 people team. Getting the gist. अगर मैं कह रहा हूँ कि मेरे को टीम हैंडलिंग या टीम लीडिंग आती है, वो दिख रहा है मेरे टाइमलाइन में. But if somebody who is at this level or this level and they are mentioning team handling या team leading, it doesn't look nice. Now it is again gibberish, again blubber. So use this space wisely. Honestly speaking, अगर आप behavioral skills mention ही कर रहे हो, rather than having any unnecessary, पहली बात तो मतलब करना नहीं चाहिए, अगर नहीं है तो मत लिखो. लेकिन अगर करना ही है तो rather than writing unnecessary things, write something which looks nice. Write something that I have a jolly nature. Even that is better. At least I will be around a funny person. At least I will be around a person who can make the moment light. Which advice? Which skills? Which skills, Rajat? I'm talking about skills. LinkedIn, I got it. मैं सेक्शन की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ रजत. आई एम सेइंग इफ यू वांट टू ऐड बिहेवियरल स्किल्स. आई एम सेइंग don't blubber around, don't fool around. Respect the person across the table who is receiving your resume. आप में से कितने लोग ऐसे हो जो अप्लाई कर चुके हो कहीं लिंक्डइन पे, कहीं नौकरी पे, कहीं मास्टर पे, एंड यू आर सीइंग दैट देयर इज नो रेस्पॉन्स कमिंग. यस नो कुछ आता ही नहीं है. एक ऑटो जनरेटेड मेल आता है, वी विल गेट बैक टू यू, एंड दैट्स इट. वो भी आया तो आया, नहीं तो नहीं आया. हाउ मेनी टाइम्स इट हैज हैपेंड? You know why it is happening? It will happen only when this person sees your resume and decides to call upon you. तुम्हारा रिज्यूमे यहीं रिजेक्ट हो जा रहा है, यही फाड़ के फेंक देता है उसे. मतलब फाड़ के नहीं फेंकता, रख लेता है नीचे. तो देखेंगे, इससे बेहतर कोई मिला तो ठीक, नहीं तो बाद में इसको भी देखेंगे. और वो नीचे ही जाता रहता है, उसकी फाइल में वो नीचे ही जाता रहता है रिज्यूमे. So get things right. Surpass the first hurdle, the HR. Give them what they want to say. You know there are resume building services, paid resume building services, जो आप बता रहे हो जैसे लिंक्डइन की हैं, ऐसी मास्टर की भी है, नौकरी की भी है. Then there are others also, several others also. There are open source and freelancers who are providing resume building services. They will discuss with you in person what your profile actually is, and then they will polish out your resume. Who do you think is running that? It is run by HR because they best know what HRs are looking for in a resume. वही काट सकते हैं. हाँ तो ऑल इन ऑल वही बता रहा हूँ. Well, last section which may go along with your resume is, to an extent, accolades. This doesn't harm. You can mention accolades. Accolades something which may not be directly related to the profile, and maybe at the same time. So these kind of things may be the accolades. Suppose you participated in some hackathon and stood by a rank, by a good rank. Mention that kind of thing. Suppose you cracked some aptitude test. Say you cracked CAT, MAT, ZAT at a certain point of time with good percentage. You can mention that. It may not be directly related to the job profile, but it can in some way create reputation for you. So these things will go along. Now again, in these accolades, don't mention that you were president of cultural committee in your college, that you participated in drama competition in your school. No, big no no. ये मत करना. Getting the idea? What should be your accolade? What is your accolades and what are not? Can you think of a couple of them? Can you mention two, 3 points here? If there is still space. Well, that's pretty much about resume. I'll proceed. I'll hold here for a few minutes. Meanwhile, I would like to know if there is any question. So I'm muting myself for a couple minutes. If you wish, you can drop any question you have so far, anything you want to discuss in detail. I'll take that up. If not, I'll discuss one another aspect. Hmm, yes, Rajat, sure. Definitely, you can mention that kind of thing. They are really the thing which bring value. You can mention some competitions. You can mention your city level. You can mention these kind of things like cat mat that which I was mentioning. You can mention something these kind of things which I have been through. And just showing you not to brag off, but just to give you an idea. I would not be of that opinion, Rajat. For one, I'm mentioning that in accolades. I'm not mentioning that in my academic. So already I'm putting that in my resume as a Stephanie. Very fine. If there's no further question, I will take you to another side of this. You have built your resume, and if you paid attention to the resume I showed you of myself, rather than coming up with unnecessary details, I have mentioned my LinkedIn link here. Gone are the days when resumes were printed and then sent to somebody. Now nobody prints the resume, it is just email, and that gives you liberty to copy paste a link here for them to click on it and go to your profile. If they are lured enough by your resume, they will next thing they are going to do is go to your LinkedIn, and that's the place where you are ready. You are ready for them. You have already put everything in place. What have you put in place? You have come up with a detailed and clean profile. जो तुम रिज्यूमे में अपना गाना बजाना नहीं कर पाए थे बिकॉज सिंगल पेजर बनाना था, वो तुमने यहाँ पे कर रखा है. अभी तक प्रॉब्लम तुम्हारी थी कि वो तुम्हारे बारे में कैसे जानेंगे. अब ये प्रॉब्लम तुम्हारी खत्म हो चुकी है. उनको इंटरेस्ट आ गया है थोड़ा सा. उनको इंटरेस्ट आ गया है तो वो देखेंगे. मतलब नहीं भी देखेंगे तो देख तो वैसे भी नहीं रहे. पर क्या पता, अगर रिज्यूमे ठीक ठाक बन गया है तो शायद लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल पे आ जाए. I don't know if I have given to any of you already have it or know it. Okay, I got it. We were doing a career assistance, and one of the videos I myself created, so it is here. So this is also available on your channel if you search it. It is on LinkedIn profile building. So it has a few tips and tricks to start off having a good LinkedIn profile. What's important here is that your LinkedIn profile should gel with your resume जो आपने भेज रखा है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए वहाँ कुछ और कहानी है यहाँ कुछ और चल रही है. So you guys can go through this and create your LinkedIn profile. The best way to do it would be create a detailed LinkedIn profile first, a clean, thorough LinkedIn profile, and from that LinkedIn profile, according to the job description you face, pick up a subset from your LinkedIn profile which deals with the said job description. Tweak out your resume for every particular job you are applying to. I will not say stop applying on these uh, open source portals like Naukri and Monster, but at the same time, I would say don't be very enthusiastic about them. वहाँ से response usually नहीं ही आता है. It is very difficult to get response from there. Thousands of people posting jobs and thousands of people applying on those postings. So I don't know what is your experience about that, but what I have gathered from several students that it is time wastage and energy wastage. It doesn't happen. However, LinkedIn is another story altogether. It is a professional network. There is a very high chance that you will get relevant people and relevant jobs on LinkedIn. So invest your time and energy to create a good and thorough LinkedIn profile, and then tweak out your resume, filter filter the data according to your job description, and put that on your resume, and then apply in line. Very fine, guys. So that's pretty much I had to say. I did not see many questions, but in case there is any question, maybe I can take it. And if everything is good to go, I hope session useful रहा होगा. Maybe it will point you in some right direction. Regarding assistance, yes, Pratik, regarding career assistance, there are several things which you will keep like this. Like this is the resume building, and LinkedIn के लिए there is already recorded session, so you can go through that. Then there is interview preparation, and there is mock presentation. So these things will happen towards the end of your batch. When you will be done with all your modules, you will have to submit a capstone project along with it will contain mock presentation also and a mock interview also. Okay, very fair. Yeah, of course. I think you have been through R module and Python module, I believe. So you already have two tools, two very popular tools under your belt, and they are sufficient enough to get you a job. So yes, you can apply right now. You can start applying right away. The key is applying to the right people. And more importantly, prepare well before applying. हाँ वही बोल रहा हूँ प्रतीक. Prepare well for before you apply. See, when you apply, first thing is your resume getting noticed. Even if it is getting noticed, the first thing they are going to do is, what do you think they are going to do? Will they call you right away? Is it? Do you think that will happen? I'll tell you what happens. They will look for your social media profile, each and everyone possible, if they have ample time. Chalo, I will leave you with that question. So, okay, guys. So that's pretty much from my side. And since nothing to worry about a lot, we will keep having these sessions, and you will be prepared. You will be groomed well enough before you actually start applying. However, go through these whatever we have discussed today. So I'm not saying that I have made you the wizard of resume, but at least you are on the right direction. So at least that will begin. So start creating your LinkedIn profile. So by the time you are done with your module, you will end up with a very strong LinkedIn profile with good connections. You will have a polished resume, and you will have a profile which seems streamlined with these two. So with that, I conclude for today. Let's call it a day. All the best. Bye bye, guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, and hopefully we will meet soon again. Office is opening again. I hope you know soon enough office will be open. Oh, maybe we'll meet in November. Very welcome, everybody. Bye bye. Take care. Signing off.